Trisha. Trisha's going to be talking to us about no more blame and prioritizing bugs with bug scoring. So I'll let you do your thing, Trisha. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Go ahead and share your screen and
Just give me a moment. I'm sure.
okay. I think your voice is a little soft, maybe naturally. If you could try to speak a little louder, that would be great. Thank you.
I'll do that. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that.
Okay.
So I hope you're able to see my screen.
Yep, we can see it. Take it away.
So welcome everyone. Today we are going through no more blame. Let's prioritize the bugs with the bug scoring. I'm Trisha Chetani. I worked as a software tester for past 9 years. During my 9 years of experience, I worked on front and back. Am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you. If you could just speak a little louder, that would be good. Thanks.
Okay. So I'm Trisha Chetani. I worked as a software tester. During my 9 years of experience, I worked on front end, back end, as well as mobile testing. So let's get started with our challenges. The challenges we face usually in the team when we talk about the bugs. I hope you've been in this situation wherein like nobody knows what is a criteria or what is a requirement when we are talking about the bugs, and suddenly some QA is finding out bugs and they are like the team is actually talking like what's happening, where we are into, why we are in this situation. And once we are going into the discussion, we feel like there is no outcome and it's a wasted time. And this discussion goes on every triage, and the bugs will keep on like dragging from one sprint to next sprint to like just before release. Sometimes we also don't tackle those bugs on the release. How about some people have been bottlenecked because of all those bugs, or there is a like big differentiation between different sort of bugs, or whatever the meetings we are having, we are being burned out. I hope like you all have been in this situation. Would you like to share your challenges, how you are tackling the bugs? Anybody in the audience, like what is the difficult situations you have been in, like when you are actually tackling the bugs in your team?
Want to add anything?
Sorry.
Okay. So I was just going to add quickly, Trisha, that we've used a criteria matrix to kind of speed up the identification or the categorization of the bugs and the decision around how we prioritize those. So yeah, validating that we use that as well.
Oh, thank you. And what was the challenges? Like, did you face any challenges wherein you came with this categorization matrix?
No, it really wasn't challenged. I think that people saw the need, and when we built the matrix, it really systematized the decision making around it and kind of it sped us up. And I think people could recognize that, you know, the velocity increased, and they appreciated that. It simplified, you know, the work that we were doing. Where instead of debating and having a conversation over every bug, we let the matrix do the work for us.
Okay. Anybody else in the audience who would like to share, like, how do they tackle all those challenges?
Or anybody online can ask a question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So in my team, typically, I do run bug triage meetings after our daily stand-ups. So usually we work in a distributed environment setting, on-site and offshore. So both the teams, at the end of the day, they log the defects, but in the morning after the scrum, definitely all the devs, QAs will be there in that bug triage meeting, and we make sure all the bugs are triaged and assign appropriate priority and severity for them with agreement between the QA and devs, and what is the impact to the work. So that's how we handle the defects.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else want to go?
One strategy I found to help, and this has worked in many organizations, is qualify how and with what you're testing. In other words, sure, you've got a bug, but get the team to validate, is this environment ready for that testing? Is the data sources that I'm using for the result agreed on by everyone as valid? So once you qualify that, then everyone's like, well, yeah, if it's a bug, we've already told you it's legitimate how you're getting there. So it lessens the conversation about, is it a bug or not, or the requirement, and more about how to solve it. If you qualify how you got there instead of just presenting that it's a bug with data.
Thank you. That's an interesting thing to do, I would say. Anybody else would like to go and share their view?
I think we're good here. No, nobody has their hand up as far as I can see.
Oh, nobody on the audience who are who are actually not remote.
Let's keep going here.
Okay, let's keep going. So how did I tackle this? I tackled this with the bug scoring, and the bug scoring I actually came across with the documentation, which was with Daniel Cook, and he was mentioning what was the challenges with the bug triage and how did he overcome. So I'm going to share those, my perspective of when I actually started with this bug scoring. So we started having bug scoring, each bug on several criteria. What we do is with the bug scoring, we come up with several criteria, and then we combine those criteria into a single user pane, and then we sort all those user pane into a list, and then we start fixing most painful bug. So we don't talk about priority, severity, we talk about some numbers, and those numbers will be there in the sprint. When we are estimating, we will give the bug scoring number, and the higher the number is, mean the faster we need to fix it. So that's how we actually went with this bug scoring technique. So we have an Excel sheet over here, which I'm sharing you. So in our case, it was which user group is affected. Is it admin? Is it users? Is it contributor? Whatever user group in yours context it is there, you can use that, and you can have who is being affected and how severe it is. Then how much it is blocking them. Is it blocking them for progressing the daily build? Is it blocking them to release the bug, or it is just showing up on reviews? Or is it user will not have pain, or is it some not a big deal? What kind of bug is this? Is it crashing the system? Is it a major usability issue, minor usability issues? And is it localization, documentation, whatever? And once when you actually select this, when I select admin over here, and then I select is it a bug crash? So the bug score will change. And if you have a production in our production system, we are using Gentex. If you have something over there, you can actually use that. If you are actually having a backend or front end issue, backend issue, then you can mark it as true or false. And then again, edge case as is it edge case or not? So you can mark it as that. And that's how this sheet will calculate it as what is a bug score. And the maximum number of bug score we have is 55 is the highest. So how did we configure this? As we have the likelihood over here, which I explained to you, which user group is actually facing a challenge. What is the priority of all this user group? What kind of bug it is? And several things I still need to do, and we need to check on that. So that's how we have configured this for ourselves. And we use in our daily sprints, and we actually talk about the bug scoring and no more severity and prioritization of the bugs. In summary, like I would like to give you, like, we started collaborating better because we are not into the meetings where we are wasting the time of each other. We all have one view. Since we are using some creative technique, so we all are excited to use this and learn more about it. It's kind of a little bit of process improvement, and it's very simple to understand because it's a number, and it's how everyone is able to clearly understand about this process. So thank you. If you have any questions, I'm good to go now.
Great, thanks, Trisha. Is there any other questions for Trisha from the audience? If not, we will continue on.